The author of Dune, Frank Herbert, was very aware of it. We, humans, suck at predicting where technology is going. Here he is illustrating this idea.
Franklin Roosevelt appointed a group that you may have heard about. It's called the Brain Trust. The Brain Trust was supposed to lay out the course of hard science and social development for the next 25 years through 1958, right? The interesting thing to me was to look at what they did not mention. No transistors, no atomic energy, no antibiotics, no faster than sound travel, no space probes. I mean, the U-2 preceded that, you see. And no World War II. Now, it struck me that those things had some sort of influence on those 25 years.
And he did not know it yet, but the future would prove him more than right. Twice in the past have we believed that AI was a field with no potential, that it would never be anything else than an academic curiosity. These are called the two AI winters, and they happened in the end of the 20th century. Yet each time, AI rose back to its feet. The point is, the author of Dune was completely right. We have no idea what's going on with technology. Yet he does believe that it's valuable to try to predict the future. He spent a lot of time preparing to make Dune.
So I started looking at prediction, and I've been following it very carefully ever since. Herman Kahn, the late Herman Kahn, fascinated me because he was another one of these absolutists, as Roosevelt was, because by appointing the Brain Trust, he was playing along with this mythology that you can lay out the future.
And from environmental decline to some of his takes on AI, he certainly was very successful in his attempts at prediction. In particular, there's a recurring theme of people being oppressed and dealing with it in various manners. In a world where artists are more and more oppressed by AI and need to find a way out, I really wanted to delve into this topic. Let's look at what happens in Dune. In Dune, humans invade a planet because it is the only place in the universe that contains the spice, a substance that increases longevity and expands the mind. In quite the same way as it is for AI today, the financial motivations are at the roots of the destructive venture, and as long as they are here, it seems like there is little hope for the people of the invaded planets, short of armed rebellion. Indeed, this is what unfolds next in the movie. So it seems in Dune that in case of destructive force oppressing a certain class of people, the only way for people to break free is armed rebellion. And there's another instance of that in the books. Within the Dune saga, the Butlerian Jihad is a crucial moment in history where humans rebelled against artificial intelligence. This AI had achieved a dominion and influence over human existence considered unbearable. The insurrection against AI led to its prohibition, introducing a critical mandate. Thou shalt not create a machine that mirrors the human mind. So once again, in Frank Herbert's prediction, a threat arises likely motivated by financial motivations, just like AI is today. And his prediction is that it takes armed rebellion to rid ourselves of it and fix the problem. Short of this, in the case of AI as well as in the case of spice, the threats will never recede so long as there is financial incentive. So it seems like Frank Herbert's advice to dealing with oppressive forces like AI is direct rebellion. Or is it? There's another form of oppression in the world of Dune, the sandworms. They are ubiquitous and make life perilous for the inhabitants of the spice planet, the Fremen. Yet it seems there's no armed rebellion against them. Unlike with humans and AI, the Fremen have found another way to deal with such oppressive powers. How do they do it? Leonardo da Vinci said, "Art is born from constraints and dies from freedom." A huge oppressive force is a constraint. With the constant threat of worms in the desert, the Fremen have to be constantly on the lookout. When walking through the desert, they cannot walk regularly with rhythmically predictable steps like we do in real life. That would make them stand out from the nature surrounding them and attract the deadly sandworms. Instead, they have to imitate the sounds of nature and blend in. When we watch them do this in a movie, it is hard not to see it as a form of dance and thereby art. Clearly, Frank Herbert and Leonardo da Vinci concur on this topic. An oppressive force is valuable in that it provides constraint, and constraint leads to imagination, creativity, and thus art. Artists ought to welcome constraints, not rise up in arms against them. This way, they can sharpen their art against them and be taken in new directions.
Individuals can have a tremendous influence on the futures of all of us. I don't have to list the people from Michelangelo on, just from that time, to make this an important statement to you.
So in his Dune series, Frank Herbert gave us two predictions of how to deal with oppressive forces as artists faced with the looming threat of AI art. Which route will we take? Will we use the constraint of AI to sharpen ourselves and make ever more ingenious human art? Or will we instead declare war on it and rise up in arms? I like the first option a lot more, and as the Dune author says,
that it's all right to enjoy your work. You don't have to fight your way out of bed every morning. You can get up every morning eager to go do whatever it is you do. Have a love affair with your world. And remember that you're not going to be able to predict every consequence of what you do.
Dancing sounds to me a lot more lovable than war. What do you think? Let me know in the comments.
I'm going to declare a heresy for you. All science, if you go back into its roots, saying, why do I believe this? Well, I believe this because of these tests and this proof. Well, why do I believe this? Why did I set up this test? Why did I believe that proof? All science goes back to something that we believe because we believe it. We believe it because we believe it.